Hello, welcome back. Last time I conquered Slug Marsh in the east, leaving me with just one zone left in the north, so we're going to go toward Block Hills. So incidentally, that introduction of slugs has now filled out every monster that exists in the game here, because Block Hills doesn't actually introduce any new monsters. It has other mechanics, and existing mechanics seen in new ways. So, Hills entrance, this is actually blocked off. You can only open that by pressing this, and what's this new thing here? This is a multi-push block, something that's perhaps a little underused in this entire campaign, but it exists in a few places, so round-looking block can push other things along with itself. So this is sort of the Sokoban zone, or at least it starts like that, then becomes about other things. Garbage chute. So, we got monster block here, two multi-push blocks, these little grapes here on the ground, and the goal here is there's only one killing spot for a monster block, which is here in this pit. And the garbage chute is too long for me to just get it in there directly. So I need a couple of more blocks to be with me to make this far enough away to get into the pit. So this is actually a multi-push block puzzle. Put this here, and once you... So you really want to move that south. I can either go all the way around and do it this way, or there's actually a shorter way. If you're sneaky with the room geometry, you can go out here and get it back in this way. So right, I need the other multi-push block because one is not enough. If I try to do this now, I would get as far as this, but monster block's up high and nothing I can do. So, push that down, push this down, and second grape is mine. I think I can just push this all the way out. I can. And that formation goes down the chute. There we go. Let's go east. Shuffleboard. So there's ice. This is the snowy hills, right next to the hot canyon desert sandy place. Don't worry, it makes sense. And yeah, there's ice here. You can walk on it just fine, but a block on it will continue sliding without my intervention. A lot of people commented to me that it's unusual to have ice in a game that affects blocks but not the character. I didn't realize that when I was putting it together, but I guess I could see it. Yeah, so move freely, but blocks are affected. Anyway, so once again, one killing space for monster block, which is in this water. That needs two things open to get it in there, and if you just look at this space here, it can really only slide over... Oh, by the way, so a push block will show an arrow to demonstrate the way that it's sliding on the ice. I had an opportunity to do something kind of funny with the monster block. The eyes actually look in the direction that it's going. A fun little detail that everybody enjoys when they see it for the first time. Anyway, so... basically, this is a timing puzzle. I need monster block to be coming from the south, and to go through there, while this is held, but you can't leave anything here, because the block on the ice would just slide right on by and get stuck in that spot, and that would never open. So, you just gotta set things up such that this is in the right place to slide north, while that moves right across the plate, and there's just enough time to do this. Leaf goes on west plate, block quickly gets onto east plate. So you can see how things evaluate here. That goes down, monster block slides, that goes up, monster block continues sliding. There's a little bit of trickery in this room to make this work. So if we look at the initial layout, this block is placed north of where the monster block is. Push blocks have turn order, by the way, and this is why. This is number 1, this is number 2. If I had them in the other direction... Sure, let's try it the other way around, since I can actually demonstrate this. So monster block goes over there, push block goes north. So what's going to happen here is push block... Sliding north, right? Yes, in case you need to know on the tooltip. Push block will first bump into that, then the monster block will press the plate, and it doesn't work in that order. By the way, turn order in this game is determined strictly by placement order in the room. So it just goes in reading order of initial placement. So yeah, it's just this is 1, this is 2, because this is north of the monster block. Also, journal's telling me something. Monster block dies in pits, disappearing into the abyss. I guess this is the first time... Every time. I keep wanting my map button to be where my journal button is. I guess this is the first time we've actually seen a monster block go in a pit. Anyway, it follows logically. You've probably seen other blocks go into pits. You'll know what to do there, I'm sure. At least that hasn't been a problem yet. I hope it remains that way. Anyway, monster block in the water. And was that the first time? No, that was the first time we saw it slide on ice. Because that's the first time ice showed up. Okay, so this is a pretty traditional ice sliding puzzle. Once again, you got this little tiny fishing hole here in the ice that the monster block has to go into, and there's a lot of rocks and bushes in the way, making that hard to do. So can't approach from this way, can't approach from this way, can't approach this way, can't approach this way, so we're gonna have to do something different. So this appealing obstacle means you either want to go north from here or west from here. If I want to go north from there, I'd need something to stop against just in this general area, and there's like nothing around. So if you're gonna want to go east from here, then there's this convenient stopping point short of that. So working backwards to get something against this. There's nothing here and nothing here, but there's something one more away, and I have an extra block. So in the working backward process, you have to realize that you can make a backstop there, and keep on spiraling around and have a place you can enter from in this area. So, the solution then boils down to get this in place, however you wish to do it. Then the monster block, you can insert it here or you can insert it here, either way works. I think, did I leave it? Okay, I'm going to try an alternate solution to this after I show the main one. So this is the way I planned for this to go. I think it is possible if you want to spend enough time doing it to go, like... Is there a place where I can go all the way around? Yeah, I think if you want to do this a tedious way, it's possible to walk the monster block along like this. I didn't want to put too much geometry in the room to prevent a solution like this. Right, and then there's even odd, and I think I've done it the wrong way. Push block, monster block, push block, yeah, so that'd have to be the other way around. But I think this is legal, just not recommended. So north, east, south, keep doing that. Don't see any reason that this is impossible. Oops, that's not the way I want to go with... Oh, right. Okay, so you go this way. Yeah, so you can do it that way. Both are valid. It's fine. No swimming. Okay, so by the way, I just entered this last little unexplored space, filling in that whole area, so nice solid block of room. So we can see there's a bunch of stuff to the east of Slug Marsh, and that's the bridge that actually goes there. Something here through the Terra door we know about. Right, this is a Terra door here, and I guess here, this one leads downward, so I know that on this layer there's something inside the volcano. Also, right, I guess I didn't mention it as I walked by, but here north of tower entrance there's this little secret extra basement ladder that's accessed through a cracked wall there. So there's like two basements to the tower, one off to the side and one in the main thing. Anyway, so I'm here, no swimming. There's a key in this room, and setup very similar to shuffleboard. Gotta go across these. Monster block dies in the water. And there's so there's this little post that can come up here. Basically just a big old constraint problem to figure out where everything needs to be for the monster block to go in place. So main action you'll be doing a lot in this room is that. I can actually step off this, because pressure plates release late in the turn. The block slides just like in Drod. Implementing a Drod-like game gave me an appreciation for why Drod works the way that it does. There are a lot of reasons for things to be how they are. So right, that's actually a pointless action. What I need is this here. I could also, wait here. Either way is fine. So, right, this is an important key spot because of the shape of this. Right here is the one spot that I can recover a block after pushing it to the south. Like if I put it anywhere else, it's just irrecoverable. So anyway, monster block is there. That was my backstop. And this backstop stays where it is for a moment. And allows me to put something to the east of the monster block. So yeah, you're in place as soon as I can press all the relevant pressure plates down. Now, this is permanently up, so I don't need any extra interaction to mess with it. Opening up an angle of approach that was not open to me before, this one. So I can bop that to the south, get this in that place, and these are spaced such that Leaf can reach the relevant one just in time, so monster block goes in the drink. Alright, and that was the ice section. Yeah, so like each sub-branch of a zone kind of has its own theme, although this isn't really a branch so much. This is the Sokoban section, that's the ice section. You know, if we look down here, we can see stuff like Statue Volcano has the packing branch, so 1, 2, 3. Then the sliding branch, 1, 2, 3. Then the water, like the stepping stone branch, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not so much stepping stone, but this is something else. Water traversal, sure. Let's call it that. And yeah, so anyway. So we're in the Sokoban section of Block Hills. Warehouse. Oh right, so new element introduced here. So no new monsters, but several new implications and other mechanics. So this right here, this is a block barrier. So I can walk, but block cannot. This is basically a concept that came from No Anglerfish. I know I showed it earlier, but I have that. I have thanks to this game in the about screen because mostly because of this. This is the main thing that I took from that game. It's a good mechanic. It was a great idea, and it just made sense here. So, right, got a bunch of, like, just things to shuffle around. Put things on plates, see what you need where. The entrance and exit is kind of well guarded. These have to go around because you want to leave, but I'm standing on that plate. So I insert that where the monster block was so I can stand there, but now it's up high, so I move that again. And there we go. Monster block can come out and get cooked on this hot spot here that's melting the snow and making the grass grow green in that spot. Utility closet. Here's where to cash in keys. I have 1, but I need 2 more. Right, so push block, multi-push block both have to come out of the closet and go here because if I go, I'm on a trapdoor, and also I'm not there to put that in the water. So, we'll be back here. Fight or flight. This room has a history. So way back in the original incarnation of Tower of Destiny, Block Hills was sort of the monster block introduction, kind of, but they were used elsewhere. It was a big mess. It was kind of the monster block and bomb bug zone. This was, once, the room that introduced the concept of bomb bug fleeing from monster block. Because you can't get it out like this. There's just not enough space. So, it has to be chased. And yeah, I need a bomb bug here to blow this up because I can't do anything about it myself. So I chase you there, stop chasing so you don't go in the hot coals, bring this around, get ready to scare you north. And do that. So yeah, once upon a time, this was the entire room. I would just like dump that on hot coals there after killing a flying snake, and that was the whole thing. But since I added Bombug Cavern after that was made, I added a second half to this room. So up here, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. Got a Bombug there, flying snake trapped here, so this has to be bridged across. I need to break this myself because nothing else can do it. Unless I can make a stepping stone and have the Bombug go there, which I cannot. And we got this, like, other passage going on. So, a little bit of a leap in logic needs to be made here to realize that this flying snake has a use. Actually, let's try not using it and see what happens. So flying snake dies. Now I need to solve the other half of the room. I put the monster block here and it scares the bomb bug and just nothing happens. But wouldn't it be nice if the explosion could push the monster block over here? That would be cool. Seems like it could happen if the monster block were demonsterified, but I can't do that and get it back out because all the hot coals are locked away in such a place. So anyway, what needs to happen instead is to use a snake lock. So bring the flying snake up across the water where it can traverse. It goes to the east of the monster block, no, to the bomb bug. Well, 2 to the east of where the monster block is going, so therefore the bomb bug has nowhere to run, and it stays in place. You saw it bump against the flying snake there. Then it couldn't run, it was within 1 tile of me, so it primes, and then kills the flying snake, moves the monster block into the water, killing the monster block, making a stepping stone, and just doing everything that needs to happen all at once. And I got a new journal entry for that. Bomb bug. Fleeing from a monster block takes priority over priming an explosion. Right, that was what we saw when I pushed this north to this spot. So instead of holding still and priming an explosion and moving that over there without needing a backstop, since Leaf was here and you took your turn, you saw a monster block and decided to run away instead of trying to attack me. The fear is stronger than the chase instincts, as we've seen in other places. Anyway, so this puzzle is basically Watering Hole 2. So recall that Watering Hole looked like this. So monster blocks there, made a little maze for the bomb bug to follow, to hit a toggle switch. This is that concept again, but larger and with more turns to it. So right, I go here, bomb bug comes out, gets frightened by monster blocks, and can't really go anywhere. So I just have to set up... There's a couple of different ways to do this. There are multiple routes through this forest of pine trees. This puzzle was made before Watering Hole, by the way, so this is actually the older one. Yeah, so anyway, bomb bug will come south. Needs to go to where this switch is to open the door for the thing I'm standing on. And monster blocks, of course, have to remain retrievable because they are monsters. So we're going to send west. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I need a north in here somewhere. My north can be there. So west, north, west, and then I need a south. So yeah, there's a few different routes you can go through here. This is one relatively simple one that works just fine. So you did not see that because the tree blocked your sight line. Did not see that because that tree blocked your sight line. This block is closer, so it took priority over that one. This block's closer, so it took priority over that one. Same deal. You get on the hot coals and blow up, and I am released. So then, it's just a matter of disposal. So there's this bit of hot coals, you gotta do a little bit of packing on your own to keep it accessible. And then the one the bomb bug used, and there's just enough space. So, bridge demolition, this puzzle. Original incarnation of this was much simpler. This got a pretty big buff. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's this bridge, this is the one being demolished, or has already been partially demolished. By the way, we're still looking at the same river that runs all through Angry Eye Canyon. So that kind of bridges these two zones. So 3 pressure plates in here. 1 bomb bug there, 1 bomb bug there, 1 monster block here. So without looking at the rest of the room, my actions are very constrained. All I can interact with is this bomb bug and this pressure plate. So the pressure plate doesn't do anything on its own, therefore bomb bug goes on it. And that gives me access to this, which doesn't do much of anything. I can get myself stuck by doing that, so let's not. And I can go in here and retrieve the monster block. I could also walk up here and get myself stuck, but again, that doesn't do anything, so let's not. Alright, so now I have a monster block. And a bomb bug, and what do I want to do with them? So these 3 plates control those doors, and 2 of them also control these doors. So like, you are the trapped away bomb bug in a remote closet way out here. Clearly the only thing that's ever going to do anything to you is if you see a monster block to your east, shooing you to the west. Therefore, monster block has to be somewhere in this area, and both of these plates have to be simultaneously held at the same time. Now wait a minute. Am I not seeing an alternate way to do this? Uh-oh, I hope I haven't discovered a big problem here. Let's see what happens when I do the thing I'm gonna try and do. So send the bomb bug north this way. No, I see why that doesn't work. Because only one of these two plates will be held while the bomb bug isn't here. Two have to be held. Okay, everything's fine. Puzzle works. I was worried for a second. Alright, so I've moved bomb bug into this little island switchboard thing. You are holding this, which does two things. It lowers that. This plate needs to be held for me to get in there, so I can have access to that cracked wall. Break it open. Alright, might be unclear what that's done, but there are two others I can do the same way, and presumably that's a useful action, so let's continue. I'll do the third one, which involves some scaring, because I can't lure you to the northeast. Scaring should be done in that order, because if I try to do it the other way around, you go north, and I can send you east, but then this monster block is kind of stuck up there. Can't get it back. So east first, then north. Right, so you're where you need to be. I can break the third wall. This lets me do that. I guess you won't know until you break them, but there's water under all of those. So trapdoor here. This gets me access to a second push block. I feel like it's at this point of the puzzle that everybody might be wondering why you want a second push block. Like, what is that even for? It can block line of sight, it can hold a plate, but there's something else it can do too. Yeah, so here's the hard part of the puzzle. What you have to see is that it's a useful action to do this. To make that a permanent stepping stone. I want to get my bum bug back out, by the way. Because it's going to swap onto the plate. In place of the monster block, let's see, you two have to exchange places, which is always kind of a fiddly process because you want to run away when you get in line with that, but it's fine. Let's do things this way. Okay, so bomb bug is now back on plate. I've made one stepping stone here, which gives me the ability to go in here with this monster block. I get kind of trapped, but I have something that can make a second stepping stone. So you go in the scary row for bomb bug number 2. Right, number 2, because monster block is number 1. How is that? Oh, there's something funny about this. Right, okay, because, alright, so technical implementation note here. The reason that... 0. 4. 7? I found a bug. Those aren't showing the right numbers in initial room view. I know why that is. Oh, this is... I sort of know why that is. This is weird. So those numbers don't make sense. Just pretend this says 1, this says 2, this says 3, because that's what it is in the final configuration. Okay, so found a thing I need to fix. Alright, I'm glad I poked these things. Anyway, so implementation note. The monster block exists on a... Basically, the tile map of this room consists of 5 layers. There's a floor layer, there's a which has, you know, snow, cliff, water, etc. on it. There's a carpet layer, which has stuff like trapdoor. You know, the trapdoor knows there's water under it. And the pressure plate is on the carpet layer. It knows there's snow under it. Layer 3 is the obstacle layer, which includes rocks, and I think cracked walls go on that layer too. Layer 4... What on earth is layer 4? Anyway, there's a layer 4 and a layer 5. I forget which is which, but the upshot is that the monster block goes either on the obstacle layer or on whatever layer 4 is. Then the monster layer is number 5, that's the highest one, and that's where the bomb bugs are. And in the evaluation order, where it determines turn order, there's basically 3 axes that it considers. So there's the x-axis and y-axis in reading order, sure, but there's also the z-axis, the layer number. So since you are on a lower layer number, 0, sure, I mean, those numbers are in the right order, they're just not the right numbers. I'm gonna have to figure out why that is. Like, I don't know why these numbers are what they are. If it were reading uninitialized memory, it'd be like much, much higher numbers I'd expect. Alright, so, little puzzle for me to solve later. So anyway, right, so this is on a lower layer, so therefore it gets its number first. Then number 1 has already been used up, so this gets 2. Anyway, so I'm here, I can go on this plate, both are held, Bumbug goes onto hot coals, and I can use the monster block to get back, don't need any more. This blows up and the room is done. Alright, so, switchboard operator, last one on this branch. This is kind of the monster block makes Bumbug afraid branch, I suppose, is the theme of this location. Should be pretty clear what this mechanism is as soon as you walk in the room. I need to hit that flying snake myself, so therefore we need to set up a little whirlpool, or whatever you want to call it. A clock. It's a little Bumbug clock here, going around and repeatedly hitting the pressure plates. And this tall grass is here to make this more generous. Without it, it was kind of a big pain to get this set up, because like you would stop chasing me at this point and just bump into that wall because you would see the monster block. The tall grass was a later addition just to make this much more friendly to set up. So just get Bumbug in there. It's going... I chose counterclockwise this way, this time, which gets me in, and also gets me out just a bit slower. Yeah, so you can go either way around, doesn't matter. Just one way will be fast, one way will be slow, whichever way you do it. Done with Bumbug, don't need it anymore. And there are some blocks here to bridge over to this key, which does require a little bit of bridging. I put this rock here specifically to discourage trying to bridge across the river, like in case you came here first and didn't know what the room over there looked like and were looking for a secret by putting stepping stones in the water. This is not a game about secrets. I tried to be very open about everything that's going on. Like, what you see is what exists. You know, you gotta discover the mechanics and interactions, but I was careful to choose game mechanics that don't allow for hidden stuff for the most part. But, by the implications of the mechanics... By the way, if you leave without taking that key, these blocks are still around, so you can just bridge with them. Technically, it would be possible to have it such that you must bridge across water to get to a secret place. So, things are available, but it can't be like secret because of the map revealing that there are rooms in anything that's technically traversable. That's why you can see the room to the east, or see that there is a room to the east from here, because water technically can be traversable with stepping stones on it. But yeah, so just an ideological thing. This is a game that is very open and keeps no secrets from the player, if I can avoid it. So, that's 2 keys because I already spent 1 in this zone. And, last branch here. This is about explosions pushing blocks, as you'll see shortly. So we got a little packed together Bumbug arrangement, and push block and pressure plate, which is going to interact with those. Clearly I need to get in here myself to kill this flying snake. And a little bit of assembly required to get this ready. So if I just put that on there, that's not really useful. So you'd have to realize this is a chain situation. Get Bumbugs in just the right spot to be able to do this. So this will blow up, making that blow up, meaning that that block gets pushed onto the pressure plate, and I can make it in. Flying snake dies, toggle switch lets me out, and I go north. Suddenly something's bothering me that this is not vertically centered with the house. I think that's fine though. Expel! So, similar thing, so block barrier makes its return here. Should I make it so that those hot coals don't, like, spill out onto the block barrier? How flush is that with the floor? Like, it's not a raised thing or anything. I think of it's like poured concrete on the ground. So no, hot coals spilling out as they do makes sense, I think. You'll notice if you look carefully that that doesn't happen around water. Where's some water? Or, you know, and doesn't spill out onto the walls. Yeah, here's a place. Like, that's just a a sharp boundary like the cliff or the ground has. So, I have that fine of control over my auto-tiling system. I'll do a technical video on that at some point, I'm sure, but that's not what this is about right now. Anyway, so yeah, I need to get at this bomb bug. That one's already accessible. But this trapdoor here stops me from putting all of those in place, so I can just do one. So therefore, I have to get the bomb bug's help, and you might realize that you can do 2 at once and push the 3rd yourself, but it's a lot more fun to do all 3 at the same time. So that's the arrangement I would want with bomb bug on trapdoor, but then you'll realize that you can't quite do that. You can make a small tweak here so that it can see me, because like if I do this, I can't be seen. Okay, yeah, so that setup works. You can improvise from there. So expel 3 blocks at once onto the plates. Pressure plate, dang it, trapdoor remains undropped. But I can drop it if I want. Anyway, so check it out, it's a variation of that room. Little fort looks a lot like what we just did, just with some different things around. So keen observers will note that there's no little rock in the equivalent of that position. These are pits, those are walls instead of block barriers, for what difference that might make. And, same problem of course. Can't push these on yourself because you dropped the trapdoor and don't have a place to push anymore. So now, you want to get the bomb bug to expel these things, but the same thing doesn't work because there's just no way to get it here. It's, you can try to set it up like that if you want. So let's try and see what happens. So that goes there, and doesn't make it. If I do it here, I drop the thing, and the bomb bug doesn't get far enough. So if I let this explosion go off, then I might discover that those actually go diagonally and fall in the pits here. So, you can extrapolate from that and realize that the actual way to do this is to put those one more north, and push this down at the same time like I was doing, but stop off here. And there we go, diagonal push puts 2 of them, I put the other one manually, trapdoor does have to drop, and that's how you solve that. Also, I'm going to get a new journal entry from that, because that was the first time that I had an explosion push a block diagonally. So that's a little bit of a mechanical reveal here. And also, you can actually have done that all along. It's possible to do in ridgeline. If you just explode here instead of here, this will go diagonally, and you'll see that early. So, it can happen either way. Anyway, so, playing with that concept, we have a monster block here, totally trapped in block barriers, no way to get it out, except you might note that one of these corners doesn't have a dead tree in it, and you were just taught that diagonal movement is possible, so clearly you want an explosion here to push this out so that it can go in, I guess, that water, because that's the only kill spot for it accessible. So, the rest of the puzzle's just about doing that. This, by the way, opens that door. This can't be gotten out without that. Sorry, bug, I'm scaring you out of your mind here. I'll get the scary thing away. Oh no, scary thing is back. Okay, so you go there. I moved this into this row so that it would be in line with that bomb bug so that it scares it to the west. And I know there's going to be a little bit of a shuffle coming here. Let's not do anything about it and just see how to deal with it in place. So you go here. I want you one row to the east, but you can't go there because you're too afraid. So I have to do something like, I don't know, this, and it's a little fiddly, but, you know, you get used to working with these things after a while. So explode there, block is jailbroken, goes in the drink, and there we go, key for me. So that is Block Hills done. A little bit of a walk back here, but it's fine, I think. Utility closet can be fully opened. Get these out, put them in the right order. Yeah, so again, I guess multi-push block just doesn't really show up all that much. I didn't find as many uses for it as I was expecting. But it's here, in this room. Gotta do basically same thing here as you did to get into the hills. Just set up this little situation to get a thing onto a plate. Kill the monster block, and Mountain Pass. Another Terra door, another Sky Key, a waypoint to get back conveniently. And that would just happen to be 4 Sky Keys total, which is enough to get this collection of Terra Keys. So now we got 4 more zones opened up. We can do part 2 of each one of those, because we've seen, let's map for this. We've seen this Terra door, this Terra door, this press the wrong button, that was me, this Terra door, and this one. So 4 places to go. Same 4 branches open up further next time, so that's going to be fun. So I'll see you next time to do part 2 of one of those zones.